Hi, welcome to the Pro-Pilot Playbook podcast. I'm Mike.
And I'm Sean, and we've got something coming to you today. This was a question that was asked a couple weeks ago to me, and I thought, oh, that's a perfect episode, perfect topic for the podcast. Yeah. And that question is, do pilots get airline miles?
Yeah, you hear that. It's like, that can't be possible, right? You're up there flying around with your job, and you're collecting miles at the same time. Not possible.
Yeah. Well, yes, it is. And it's not just airline miles.
Yeah.
It's
hotel points.
Yeah, it's a whole slew of stuff. Hotel points.
Rental car points.
Rental car points. It's free rental cars.
Free parking.
Everything I do, I use a major credit card for, which also gives me points.
Yeah.
And actually, I double down on that by using... For instance, if I'll go ahead and drop some brand names here. If I'm flying Delta, I'll use my Delta Sky Miles American Express card.
Yeah.
And now I'm earning double miles on that purchase. If I'm staying at my favorite hotel chain, Marriott, and I'm using their Marriott Bonvoy, they call it now, card, I'm getting, even more hotel points now.
Yeah. So just to catch people up, if they just clicked on this podcast, we're corporate pilots, so we don't fly for an airline.
Right.
But people pay us to fly their plane, and they also pay for us to stay places. But these loyalty programs are designed for the individual. It's not, the money doesn't go to who's paying, or the points don't go to who's paying. They go to who's doing it, who's staying.
Mike, there's a question, and I'm sure you get this all the time too, but I've heard it's a reoccurring question.
I already know what you're going to say. It's the most asked question, I think, when you tell someone you're a pilot. What do they ask?
They go, so when you're out here, so you're airlining into town, and then you're going to just stay there. Do they pay for your hotels?
Yeah. You go, hey. So where do you go? I got a trip to Texas. I'm gonna be down there for 3 days. The very next thing somebody always asks is, so when you're down there, do they just pay for your hotels and your food and everything? And to us, it seems crazy. And when you actually analyze the question, like what we're gonna do,
right?
For you, it'll make sense too. But it's asked so much. I think it must be a misconception. But
I guess, yeah.
The answer to that question, Sean, is of course.
Absolutely yes. Yeah. I charge the customer for those airline tickets I buy. I put it in my invoice I send them. In my world, if I was working for a straight corporate company, they would probably just give me a credit card that I would put all my expenses on. My airlines, all my meals, and I like steaks. Big bone-in steaks. Bone-in ribeyes.
Tomahawk ribeye.
Tommyhawks, baby. And rental cars, hotels, any tips I give a line guy that's helping me fuel the airplane or something. I throw him a $20 bill that goes in my expense report, and I'm reimbursed for it. Absolutely, they pay for it. But you get to keep all your points.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Now, the only thing that we do pay for on our own is extracurricular. Like for instance, I was just out in L.A. I went to a Dodgers game. I'm not going to charge my tickets to the game.
Sure.
Now, we did charge the food that we ate there because we didn't eat dinner. We had
that's legit,
and that's legit. When you really analyze it, could you imagine us answering that question going, no, they just send us to Texas for 3 days, and then we shut the airplane door, and then we're on our own. We gotta, stay with a buddy or whatever, But it's asked.
Who would want to do that? Exactly?
Right. So that is one of the perks, and you have to put your. I don't want to say like over the top places, but most companies provide very good accommodations for their pilots and limits on spending that are very good when you're on the road because the market's so competitive. If you got your guys, staying at the Holiday Inn and the Motel 6 and they talk to their buddies that are at the the JW Marriott, on the beach,
right.
They're going to be like, I want to work over there, right?
Exactly.
So
it's a good way to lose pilots.
Yeah, because it is part of your life, being on the road. So you want to have nice conditions when you're working. So
sure.
But yeah, hopefully that clears up if any of you guys or gals were thinking of that.
Right. Does an airline pilot get miles for flying that airline? No.
No. But they get flight benefits.
But exactly, they get flight benefits. They can fly for free with their families and go on vacation for free.
Right.
But
That's a whole nother episode.
But an airline pilot is just one little segment of the pilot industry.
Right.
So many other pilots are flying around all day long on the airlines and staying in hotels and out there collecting those miles and points. It is a major benefit to what Mike and I do.
Yeah. This is such a big deal. That's why we're making a podcast about it. These hotel points that we get, I mean, it's not uncommon to be a Hilton Diamond member or a Marriott Elite member just from the stays that somebody else is paying
Platinum.
for.
Well, it just changed to titanium.
Titanium.
Yeah, they went titanium.
This is crazy, man. I mean, these are nice hotels anyway, but you're staying, first of all, when you're checking into these hotels on business, when you're paying for it, not on points, you get all types of upgrades, special lounges, right?
Sure. Yeah, I've had the presidential suite at a hotel in New York before because it was an odd ball Wednesday. Well, it was actually in Jersey.
Yeah.
But it was an oddball Wednesday night or something like that.
Right.
And the hotel was full. But with my status, my high-end status, I was able to get in and they gave me that presidential suite, and this thing had like 3 rooms in it, 4 TVs.
Yeah.
I mean, there was 2 entrances to get into the room.
Yeah.
That's how big the room was.
Unbelievable. Yeah, and all these pilots have stories about this type of stuff, but basically these hotel companies know that they're not after the guy that travels 2 or 3 times a year and stays with it. They
Right.
want to keep the guests that stay 100 nights a year in a Marriott. They want to keep them happy. So if you check into it, they know who you are and they're going to cater to you. And, if they got an empty room that's upgraded, they're going to give it to you. I've had a presidential suite in Miami one time. It was unbelievable. Dual outdoor balconies overlooking the ocean.
Yeah.
I mean, you're like,
Yeah.
That's one of them. It's like, do you call the wife and tell her, or is she going to just get mad at you
Right,
if
right.
she's not there? Right?
Exactly. Yeah. I've had some. I was just recently did a trip to New Orleans, and I ended up staying at the Ritz-Carlton.
Oh, man.
In downtown New Orleans, and I mean the rate was super low,
Right.
and it was a really really nice room. I mean first class stuff here.
Yeah. So there's what a lot of people maybe that don't travel a lot that are watching don't know is the 2 major hotel companies. There's several, but the 2 big players are Hilton and Marriott. But they don't just own Hiltons and Marriotts. They
Right.
own like 30 different tiers of hotels. Like Hilton has all the way from the Hampton Inn all the way up to the regular Hilton to the Waldorf Astoria, which is
Right.
their most efficient. Marriott has the
Spring Hill
Spring
Suites
Hill,
to Fairfield
Courtyard,
Inns,
Fairfield Inn.
all the way up to the Ritz-Carlton.
the Ritz-Carltons, and then they just bought that other the Gaylord hotels, which are just
Right.
unbelievable.
Right.
There's not that many of them, but they are over the top. There's one in Dallas that we use for training.
Nashville.
Yeah, Nashville. Yeah, the Opryland Hotel there in Nashville.
Yep.
So here's the thing. So every time you stay in a hotel and your employer pays for it, you get points. And it's not like a little bit of points. It's a decent amount.
Sure.
And those accrue into an account. And then when you decide to go on vacation, you can go and stay for free. And you can, although when your employer's paying for the Hampton Inn, you're still accruing points, and then you can stay at the Waldorf.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, every year, at least a couple times a year, I'll end up somewhere on the road with my family, or I'll fly my family in and we'll stay somewhere, or, well, that's a different story, actually staying somewhere while I'm on the road working, but we'll take vacations with the hotel points. And it's great. I mean, it's a free vacation.
So a couple notable ones that I've done. I know I've stayed for my 10th wedding anniversary. We went to Maui, and I stayed at the Waldorf Astoria is a famous hotel in New York City,
yeah.
But they branded certain hotels throughout the world with that name. So it's called the Hilton Grand Wailea Waldorf Astoria Collection in Maui, and it was
Sounds
over
fancy.
the top. Yeah, I mean these are rooms that are just a basic room is $500+ a night, and you're staying there for a week for free. I mean these are serious perks that we're talking about. You mentioned that one in New Orleans.
Yep.
I've stayed at the JW Marriott in Orlando with the kids before. There's a Waldorf in Key West, Florida, the Casa Marina. Oh,
Yeah.
God,
Yeah, I've stayed at
unbelievable.
the Ritz in Sarasota also.
Oh,
which is
man.
very nice. Very
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. These are places that you're like, should I even really be here? The W, that's another one that
Yep.
Marriott bought.
Yep.
The W in Fort Lauderdale, when you check in, you look up, and the ceiling of the lobby is glass, and that's actually the pool. So you
Oh,
can
wow.
see people swimming.
Very nice.
You're like, what are we doing here, man? I'm just a dumb pilot. I'm not a hedge fund manager. But yes.
But that's the beauty of this industry, being
Yeah.
a pilot. And that's why we created the podcast, to try to get the word out.
Yeah, we're
and
not
help.
bragging. We're just telling you. I mean,
Right.
this
Our
is-
whole mission is to enable people to become pilots faster and cheaper. And, doing an episode like this, just explaining some of the perks and the benefits of what we do, what our
Yeah.
lives are.
Right.
I think maybe we'll help people, push them, get to the airport, start flying.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, that's the whole benefit. And if you haven't checked out our website, Pro-Pilot Playbook.com, it's incredible. We have a course there that teaches you how to break into the aviation industry. It'll save you thousands of dollars, and you could become a professional
years of
pilot.
time. Years of time.
Way quicker than you would think, and take advantage of the pilot shortage.
All right, so we mentioned we just talked about the hotels,
Right.
And we mentioned rental cars, but the rental car thing, some of them do different stuff. And for me anyway, since the invention of Uber and Lyft, the rental cars I'm in has gone down significantly. But I still end up with 2 or 3 days free a year,
Yeah.
through the rental car companies. But yeah, just another thing.
Another thing, yeah.
When you're on that vacation with your family, staying in the hotel for free, well, you can end up with a car for 2 or 3 days for
Yeah,
free.
so you can oftentimes fly there for free too, because of your Sky Miles or your flight benefits.
Yep.
And then the hotel's free, and the rental car's free, and you got more. This is important too when you're a pilot, because you got a lot of off time, so you want to take
Right.
a lot of vacations.
Right. Yeah. So the ones that, when you're trying to fly your whole family somewhere, it seems the ones that get eaten up the most are the airline miles.
Yeah.
The beauty of that, though, is you can, for me anyway, what I do, because I'm, fueling up a customer's airplane or something, I'll use that Delta American Express again to put $4,000 worth of jet fuel into somebody's airplane.
Yes.
Now I'm getting all those Sky Miles,
Right. Right.
through that American Express. So
Yeah.
we can keep that Sky Miles account nice and high to take those vacations.
You know what's an ongoing joke too is normally we'll go on some sort of tropical vacation on our own with the family, like we're talking about, and then oftentimes people dread going back to work.
Right.
And it never fails when I'm on one of these beach
good.
resorts. The trip that I have to get back to do is like back to the beach. And then my
yeah.
wife's like, "Oh, you got to hurry up and get back to work so you can come back down here."
I know. I mean, we tell these stories,
Right.
and people, it doesn't. I don't know. We're living in a different world. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. But we encourage you guys to get involved and take advantage of this pilot crisis and learn as much as you can by absorbing this information. And we hope to put out a lot of free content for you guys. We don't hope to. We are going to. So you guys can help make a good decision on whether aviation's right for you.
Yeah. If you have any, just like this episode was kind of spawned from, if you have any type of recommendations or a topic that you'd like to hear us talk about, or a question for us,
Right.
send it in to podcast@propilotplaybook.com and we'll answer it in an episode here.
Yeah, the chances are if you have a question, somebody else probably is thinking the same thing. So send it in and we'll read it.
All right. Thanks for tuning in.